there, it's Phil Ratcliffe with Rebel Financial, and thanks for tuning in again to our weekly live broadcast. Today we've got Brad Harshaw. He's the owner of Strategic Payroll Solutions. He's worked in a variety of roles in human resources the last 25 years, including being a retired adjunct faculty for Columbus State Community College in their HR management technology program. So thanks so much, Brad, for being here today.
Thanks for having us.
This is something that's near and dear to our heart because, you know, me and Brad were talking beforehand. There's like two things in my life that I found that are like super worthwhile. Like you can't even do it for as efficient as they can, even if you wanted to DIY it. So, you know, for business owners, you should pay attention to this. We're really excited about working with them because they work well with small, medium-sized business companies, and there is a huge need there. So tell us a little bit about your experience in human resources and what and how it kind of brought you to payroll.
Right. So I've been in the HR realm, in the arena, basically for 25 years, and done all aspects, everything from large corporation down to small business. Wore many different hats for it. I really enjoy that. It's really working with the people, also maintaining the compliance. The unique thing about human resources is we don't really generate revenue for an organization, but we save lots and lots of money for an organization.
Sure.
And so we can try to show that ROI. And so about 12 years ago, actually one of my business partners was introduced to him, and he was looking at bringing added value to the HR world. And I was full-time at the time with Columbus State, and I was like, yeah, I really do wanted to hang out my own shingle.
Yeah.
So he and I partnered up, and we now are offering human resource consulting pretty much to the small to medium-sized market, because a lot of times that small business person, they're wearing multiple hats.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
we can become that outsourced person, and then part of that outsourcing also went with payroll. You know, because a lot of times payroll, it can either fall in the HR vertical or can fall in the finance vertical, or they'll be blended with it too. So,
and if they're smaller, people don't really have an HR. Like
exactly.
you said, it's like the business owner is
Right.
HR.
Exactly.
But payroll is probably not something they should be doing of the HR.
Right. Or they're turning to their accountant, and their accountants, they can do it. They like doing it. They have no problem. They know all the ins and outs of it. And it's through QuickBooks or something of that nature. Or a lot of times, though, accountants, they'll do it only because they have to
get the bookkeeping.
Because they would rather, to get the bookkeeping or the returns or something of that nature. So what we've actually been able to do is over the years as well, is continue to partner with accounting firms, saying, hey, let us be in the back office. Let's work with them.
Sure. We
can also support you in your model that you're going with your client too, and we can help support them too. So it's a kind of a great thing. We've been very fortunate and very blessed that we actually do have merged different technologies over a 12 years period of time. So it can make a difference overall with how we are coming today with technology and the human capital management software. Particularly, we're very proud of representing iSolved.
Yeah, awesome. And you know, I think our team is going to post the video that helps to describe a little bit more iSolved and how you guys have grown, and then also another one that describes how it actually works as well.
Absolutely.
So that you can view that after the show and check that out.
Right.
So I think we kind of hinted at it at the beginning, but people assume a lot of times, I think, before they get into business or they've had the experience with payroll, that it's simple. You know, like, I'm just going to do it myself. How hard could it be? You just got to write people checks and then withhold some money for the government. But it's not.
It's a little more complex than that. Payroll can be very simple. It can be very broad and complex too. Just depends on the business and the business model of what they're doing, how many locations they have, how many employees they have. So what we've been able to do and almost perfect is take a lot of that stuff in compliance, making sure you got the filing tax frequency the right way. Is it weekly, semi-monthly? Is it, you know, once a month, once a quarter? Most business owners will go, I don't know what that is. It's important to us because on their end, they're going to receive a notice. So if we don't want notices, and then we also will work with all the different tax agencies and figure out, okay, what's going on with this client? What can we help with that client? And it's a matter of filing those on a timely manner. And we do the tax payments. We do the tax returns for them.
Well, I don't think that the idea of payroll is that hard. I think the fact that you have to deal with so many government and government organizations, and they all do things differently, and then even one municipality is different from another, and then you have to deal with jobs and family services and unemployment, and then there's state and federal, and then they change things all the time, or like when we went down to 2008 and 2009, and then at the end of the year you owe this extra stuff. And like one thing I was telling you that really made me mad one time when I tried to do it myself is they'd sit me a penalty when I didn't even owe them anything because I didn't file a form that had a 0 on it.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, and that happens. And that happens. We hear it more often than, and it's Ohio is very unique when it comes to payroll.
Yeah.
And I've got some good friends of mine who are in the payroll industry, and they're in different states, and they say, wow, if you can do payroll in Ohio, you can do payroll almost anywhere.
It's
because you always have Fed withholding, state withholding, local withholding, maybe local withholding where the employee lives.
If it's higher, right?
School district withholding depending on where they live.
There's a lot more. And
then if they don't have employees with multiple locations or they're crossing municipalities, you could have employees in a municipality. It could be in Gahanna, Ohio one day, could be in Dublin the next, or the same day. Well, you've got to track what their income is in each one of those municipalities, and by trial and error, we have learned what needs to be done and how it needs to be done. And we've got quite a few clients who are in that world that's part of their model, where they have multiple locations or they're having employees who are crossing municipalities.
Yeah, yeah. I have to say, I appreciate what you guys do for us. And so it's very nice to not have to worry about it. So what are some of the biggest challenges that you see business owners come to you with that you can help them solve?
Well, it's, a lot of times is PTO. We need to track our paid time off. A lot of times they'll have multiple spreadsheets for their paid time off of how they're tracking their employees' time. Well, Julie's got this amount of time left, well, and Phil's got this amount left, and then Brad's got this amount, and they're tracking it on a spreadsheet, and then they go to request it, and they have paper forms and submit it and stuff. So one of the things that we actually can do and actually automate also is the paid time off requests. Through our system, goes directly to their supervisor, the employees see how much their balances are, the employer sees it is, and it's really a one click and they approve it. And it automatically tracks it. And then depending on their policy that they may have, it could be a carryover policy, or it could be their accrual policy, or it could be just a bank of use it or lose it policy at the end of the year.
Yeah, and it could be multiple between vacation and sick, and different classifications of employees get different things. Some may not get it, some may get it.
Exactly.
And that can get really convoluted.
Right. And that's one particular time, one particular item. And then the other one is time and attendance with the two. Particularly with some of the government compliance rules that the Department of Labor was bringing out, the wage and hours bringing out last fall, with the exempt, non-exempt status. So everybody's sitting there going, okay, now what are we going to do? Well, we actually have already perfected it. We've already got it in place. All we're going to do is flick a switch if they want to do something like that. But they want to track that employee's time. They have to track where they're coming and going and what they're trying to do, make sure that they're being compliant. And
for the health insurance. And
for health insurance, also just for safety and health reasons too, because the OSHA requires us to, are they on the premises? If there's a catastrophic event, we have to be able to say who's here, who's not.
And then like for us, for like 401k and retirement, who's eligible.
It becomes eligibility, exactly, or who's got to be the match, have they met that eligibility requirement or that hour allotment as well. And in Ohio, it's 25 hours or more is considered full-time, but the federal government, because of ACA, it's now 30 hours or more. Well, there's some things that you can work with to actually define what that's going to be and what it's going to be for that particular client.
Individualized.
And not every single client is going to be the same. It could be, you're different than what we are, we're different than what somebody else down the street is. What's nice about it is we spend a lot of time in our discovery process to make sure that we're doing the right thing of what that customer wants, and then we're also not afraid of saying, why are you doing it that way? That way it's like, and a lot of times we hear it once because that's the way we've always done it.
Yeah, that's one of my pet peeves from the military that I hate.
Right. Well, there could be a better way, and it could take time. And that's the thing about it too, is our whole process and philosophy is we're here to work with you, or mold ourselves to you, and over a period of time we will do certain things. Or if you want to go off and running, this is where we're going.
Yeah. So I think you started to lead into it there, but my next lead in would be, what makes Strategic Payroll Solutions and as you mentioned, iSolved, kind of unique and different?
Well, we're pretty much just like the big the payroll providers that are out in the market, and they do a great job. We do a really good job too. So we've become that alternative payroll provider.
Mm-hmm.
And what's unique about our model is being a certified network partner with iSolved and the software with it. There's only 100 of us across the United States.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of checks and balances and hoops and ladders that we had to go through in order to have that, being that certified partner. And what's nice is we're local.
Yeah.
If a business owner say, you know what, Brad, can you come out and explain this to me? Sure, when you want to meet.
Yeah.
All of our processing team also are all local, so you're not getting an 800 number. All of our processors are assigned to an account.
Yeah.
So they become that customer service person and processor. So when they call in, they go, hey, Cindy, what, I've got this. Oh, no problem, Julie, let's take care of this, let's do that, and that kind of stuff. And it's hands-on, is what we call white glove service.
Sure.
We're doing it because I'm in it for the long haul, where some of my competitors, it's turn and burn mentality.
Yeah.
So we want that customer for the long. And I still have my customers, my core customers from 12 years ago when we started our practice, which is great to say today.
That's two of the things that I really liked about you guys that I didn't see in a lot of providers. One was what you were just talking about there. Like, I'm more of a DIY person, but I've got clients that really want the white glove,
Right.
and you will fit yourself to
Exactly.
whatever that person wants. And in the past, when I've worked with payroll companies, it's like you either just choose somebody where it's DIY, like
Mhm.
we were talking about Gusto and
Right.
some of the. I mean, I would even say most of the time Paychex and ADP in them are most of the time,
Well,
DIY,
right.
even though they'll have some people in the
What
back
they do
office.
is, unfortunately, and there's been a big movement over the last probably 5 years or so,
Mhm.
because of payroll technology, human capital management technology, that here's the software, that's where it needs to go. We've taken a different approach.
Yeah.
We've got state-of-the-art technology, but if I just release the system to somebody who's clueless about either technology or payroll, they're going to get frustrated and they're going to get confused,
Sure.
and then there's going to be problems, and then unfortunately that has a bad reflection on us and also on the software.
Because they'll blame you inevitably.
Exactly. So we will spend a lot of time on our discovery process, setup process.
Mhm.
Michelle, who's our implementation manager, she and I have regular conversations of, okay, what is really the absolute necessity, but also let's make sure we're doing the right steps at the right
Mhm.
time, because we've learned. We've got that
Yeah.
experience that goes with it. So but unfortunately the big guys who are out there, they actually will say, okay, that salesperson goes and say, okay, you're all signed up, here's the paperwork, you're going to get a link to the system, and then here's your login, and then they walk away, and then you have trouble and you call them, oh, well, they don't work here anymore.
Yeah.
And
that is
then,
bad.
or
And they
now,
knew your stuff.
now
Yeah.
who are you? Oh, you're Rebel Financial. Do you have to know your client ID number or account number?
Yeah.
And then it's like, they don't know. All they want is have that resolution right there.
Sure.
And that's where we are. We're problem solvers.
Yeah.
That's at the end of the day, that's what we are. We're problem solvers. And that's where the name, even with iSolved, we solved the system, and it's my solved and it's iSolved. So it's really a great solution.
Awesome. So the second thing that I really liked about you guys too was the fact that you do have really good technology, and you could do integrations for smaller companies.
Right.
So the only other company that I saw that had really good integrations, I think we talked about this before,
Right.
was Paylocity. And some of the other ones will build out for bigger companies.
Sure,
or
absolutely.
So. But Paylocity, I mean, if you're not 100 or good bit more,
Right.
they don't even really talk to you. And so for you guys, I mean, you can do the big companies, but you're just as happy working with small and medium-sized
Exactly.
businesses. And to me, that's so much more important, so that we can have a good HR payroll solution for our employees. Not just bigger companies.
Right.
So those two things together, I think is
Well, and
awesome.
that's the thing, and that's what we've really liked about partnering up with iSolved, is there's more small to medium-sized businesses in the United States than there is the large businesses.
Yeah.
Larger businesses have deep pockets. However, if we can provide technology and a solution for that small to medium-sized business to where it can let them focus on what they do best.
Yeah, because we don't have as much staff.
And we can focus and help and support them on taking care of their compliance, feeding in their insurance carriers or their 401k providers. We've got a great partnership with companies. It's a third-party app that actually is connected into our software. It's called Everything Benefits, where they've already built the bridge, where automatically we'll feed directly into that 401k or into that health insurance carrier or that dental carrier or whatever it might be. And it's seamless. It's almost becomes out of sight, out of mind. That's good and bad, but we've got the support behind us saying, I get a phone call from a client saying, I need this report, or hey, can you verify that this actually transmitted? Here it is, and we will show them, this is how you pull it up. This is where you can pull it up. That way they don't need us at some point, but we're always just a phone call or email away.
That's one of the things we're really excited about, that integration that you have with that Everything Benefits, because we run a small 401k program, which is probably superior to just most of the 401ks out there. But a lot of the payroll is manual for the people that choose us, and now through you guys, we're going to have that all automated.
And that's where
so that's going to be awesome.
A lot of times too is that that client, they're paying a lot of dollars for that provider, that TPA or whoever, to do the uploads, to do the compliance and those kind of things too, that they're paying out of that, which comes right out of their fund, and where we actually can help mitigate that risk, and we can help support that for them and feed it for them. And more importantly is when it comes to open enrollments or the employee, and they can actually go in and they can see what's going on, and they see that dollars actually, hey, it's already hit our account. Awesome.
It's faster, more efficient, less errors.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, cool. So, kind of lastly, what would you say that you would want, small business owners or HR decision makers to, take away as one or two main points?
One of the things that we hear all the time, and it's been this way my entire career, both in HR, because I was on that other side of the fence of saying, I don't want to change payroll providers. It's just, it's a headache, it's a transition, it's hard and stuff. One of the things, we try to make it as easy and seamless as possible. There is some responsibility on the client. They have to be able to provide what we ask for, because we're going to take all that year-to-date stuff, we're going to take all that data. And a lot of times they don't know what they need, so we'll do a lot of education. So transition and conversions can be fairly easy and fairly simple. We've got a checklist, we've got a recipe. Myself and my team, and most importantly Michelle, our implementation manager, we've developed over our years of experience. And we follow that, and 95% of the time it works really well. Can I sit here and tell you there will never be a problem? No, I can't do that. But I can tell you how we'll react. And it's going to be quick, efficient, because payroll is an emotional product. And we get that. We understand that.
People need paid.
People want paid. And if that paycheck's not right on Friday, I'm not only getting the phone call, but that client, employers get the phone call, everybody, the brother, and they go, oh, it's how we react to it next stuff. And I can really say, our service team and my team in itself, I'll put them up against anybody's service team any day, because they do a wonderful job for us.
Well, awesome.
And they make us look good, which I'm very pleased and very happy about.
Well, good deal. So we put your phone number and web address down below, plus it's been flashing up here, but just kind of verbally, what's the best way for people to reach out to you?
A couple different ways to get a hold of us is our website. It's www.strategicpayrollsolutions.com. And that's what's up here on the screen right now. The other way is also just call our office directly at 614-545-6955. That's going to go directly to me with it. You can always email me, or 99.9% of the time, if I'm not in the office, it's still getting to me because I forward it directly to my cell phone.
You do a good job. I've emailed you multiple times. I've been surprised how fast you got back to me. Sometimes it's even from home, so you don't stop.
Well, that's the beauty of technology, and even with our technology is, as long as you got an internet connection, you can process and do a lot of things from anywhere. And I'll admit it publicly, I've processed payroll sitting next to a pool on vacation. You've got to do what you got to do to help support that client. And we really pride ourselves on how quick and how responsive we are. Because a lot of times you get into that email circle and cycle, oh, well, I'll get back to them Tuesday of next week. By Tuesday of next week, that problem could be bigger. So let's try to avoid it now.
Absolutely.
And respond to it so we know what's going into it.
Well, thanks again, Brad, for being here.
Absolutely. I appreciate the opportunity, and I look forward to working with the Rebel team and how they're working with things, and our team as well. And you can always, like I said, we're excited about it. We're excited about the technology, and I'd be happy to sit down with anybody, you know, with a cup of coffee and say, give me 30 minutes or
Sure.
or less. I can show you what we can do.
Absolutely. So if you're watching this and you're a small, medium-sized business owner, even bigger, you know, give Brad a call. I've really been impressed with how they take the technology of a much larger institution, but give you the individualized service to where they care about you, not just your client service number. So you've got his information. Give him a ring. Thank you again for taking time out of your day to join us for another live broadcast. Next week, we're going to have Kip Morse on. He's the president of the Better Business Bureau of Central Ohio, so join us for that. Actually, Tony will be doing that one. I'll actually be on vacation, so
Good for
I'm
you.
not doing that from the pool, but Tony can pick up the reins and take that. And then the week after that is August 4th, which is our 5th annual golf scramble, and we will be streaming live from there, probably from our drone, so you can get an aerial view of everyone out there if you tune in for that. So thanks so much. Have a super weekend. Stay dry out there if you're in Central Ohio, and we'll see you next week.